Next, we'll look at the tools for adjusting raw images in the Edit Image window. I'm going to choose a folder of images that I've purposely shot in the wrong white balance and some wrong exposures to show you how easily they can be corrected. Select the images to correct and open the Edit Image window. The Tool palette has 3 tabs for adjusting images, and the first is the Raw Image Adjustment tab. If you're working with a JPEG or a TIFF, this set of tools will be grayed out since they're only available for use with RAW files. The first tool on the Raw Image Adjustment tab is Brightness. This tool allows you to adjust your image by 2 stops in either direction. Here's an image that I've obviously underexposed. I'll move the slider to brighten it up by 2 stops. I can also change the image by typing in a value in a box to the right of the slider. At any time, if I don't like what I've done, I click the Reset button to return to my shot settings. When adjusting exposure, it might be helpful to turn on your highlight or shadow warning by choosing View, Highlight, or View Shadow, or both. Now when I make adjustments, my highlight warning appears in red and my shadow warning appears in blue to tell me that the value of these areas exceeds what I've preset in my preferences. The next tool is White Balance Adjustment. I'll choose an image that was shot in the wrong white balance to show you how easy it is to correct a white balance mistake with a raw file. This eyedropper tool is used to select a known neutral white or gray in the image, and this neutralizes the color cast. That neutral white or gray can either be in this image, the one I'm working on, or in another image. In this case, a gray card was shot in the same situation at the same time, so I'll click on that gray card to balance to the one I'm working on. These 1, 2, and 3 buttons are for preset personal white balance settings that you create. Since all of these shots were created in the same situation, I can determine the proper white balance setting and then save that setting by clicking Register. I'll choose Custom 1 and click OK. Now if I choose a different image shot in that same situation, I can simply click 1 to apply the personal white balance that I've just created. You can click on the Reset button to go back to your shot settings. From this drop-down menu, you can choose any of the same white balance selections that you had in camera at the time of capture. Choosing Color Temperature brings up a slider, and your white balance can be set in degrees Kelvin, from 10,000 K all the way down to 2,500 Kelvin. The Tune button brings up a color wheel for fine-tuning, and you can make adjustments by clicking and dragging this center point, or by typing in a value in these boxes. Again, at any time if I don't like what I've done, I just click the Reset button to return to my shot settings. The Picture Style section of the Raw Image Adjustment tab allows you to really customize the way your image looks. This drop-down menu lets you choose any of the picture style settings that were available in the camera at the time of shooting. These settings can also be applied to raw files from older model Canon Digital SLRs that don't have the picture style selections available in the camera. This Browse button lets you find other downloaded picture style settings that Canon posts online, or that you create using the new Picture Style Editor program that comes with most digital SLRs. The histogram that you see here is not like the histogram that you're used to seeing on the back of the camera or in a program like Photoshop, and it behaves quite differently when you start to adjust it. This graph is based on a logarithmic scale, and it's used for adjusting dynamic range. Drag the left edge of this window to adjust the input shadow point, and the right side to set an input highlight point. Click and drag the top boundary to change the output highlight point, and the bottom edge to adjust the output shadow point. This slider adjusts the shape of the tone curve and lets you adjust contrast. Check this box to set a linear tone curve only if you're comfortable with the advanced image manipulation techniques and software that take advantage of this mode. Color tone is a shift between yellow and red. Saturation can be increased or decreased here. To see the effects of the sharpness slider, most people like to view their image at 100% while choosing a setting. Here's a setting of 10 and a setting of 0. Most people like it somewhere in between. When the picture style setting that I've chosen is monochrome, color tone and saturation sliders change to filter effect and toning effect. The filter effects available are yellow, orange, red, and green, and the toning effects you can choose from are sepia, blue, purple, and green. This area also has a reset button that returns all of the settings to the shot settings of the image.